you know you're feeling me, yo. Keeping this game on lock is epitome, yo. We the best and forever switching up this flow. On top, we forever scooping up this dough. Yo, yeah, it's real. We together. Any time of year, you know we changing the weather.
Yes, check the rhyme, check the beat.
Good evening. It is January 27th, 2022. You are tuned into Legit Basketball, hosted by the Genius Kev. If you don't recognize my background, I am in the Hamptons. Every once in a while, Genius got to get away from New York City, got to kind of relax, and you say, hey, Hamptons for summer, Hamptons 5, Golden State, that whole thing. Sometimes come here in the winter. We got a jacuzzi outside. It's 20 degrees. Air temperature, so you got that nice contrast, kind of wakes your body back up, wakes your brain back up, gets you kind of firing on all cylinders. Plus, there's a kind of a blizzard coming this way, so should be a fun couple of days. And when I think of a fun couple of days, I gotta bring in King Michael. He and I are doing show after show after show. How you doing, King?
Well, I'm not having a fun couple of days. I can tell you that much. I'm over here trying to stay out of car accidents is what I'm doing.
You can't drive slow. You can't roll slow.
I'm the only guy.
I'm Mineral Spring.
I'm the only guy you know. I'm the only guy you know that can get hit taking a right-hand turn on the right side. I'm the only guy you know that had somebody try to pass him on the right as he was taking a right-hand turn. I don't know if you knew my car. It is not a bus. I do not drive a bus. It's a little car, actually. It's a Ford Focus. So when the cop asked me, were you taking a wide turn? It's like, how wide could I be? How wide do you think I was? He goes, well, maybe the insurance will be able to check the security video and see the whole. I'm like,
what?
I'm like, I hope to God they can. Because they couldn't figure this out. Like, they were like, it's not like they didn't believe me. They were just so dumbfounded with this guy. He was so like Christopher Lloyd-ish. He was just like, he didn't have anything. He didn't have any. He was late for another. Oh boy, he was late because he had another ticket in his hand, a speeding ticket, and he's showing it to me. He's like, I got to get to Pawtucket to go to court.
Well, none of the story makes sense. I know the street you're talking about. There is not. It's a one lane in each direction. So how did the guy even fit by you on the right? Was he on the sidewalk?
Could have been a paranormal accident, to be completely honest, because I don't know how he got on the right side of me. He swiped the side of my car and then hit the side, kind of the front of it. He went like grind, boom, and spun me back. It was a weird, slow, like boom. He hit me and spun me forward, and I ended up forward. He pulled in front of me, so I parked behind him.
So how did the police get involved?
I called them.
Did you leave the cars where they were, or did you guys move off the road?
We just pulled up on the road.
All right, good. Yeah, you got to move off. You can't clog everything up.
So I'm like, you passed me on the right. Like, I had a hard time with, so he started to do all kinds of talk that I won't repeat. All kinds of talk. And I guess what it boiled down to is I have a problem where when people don't realize the dumb thing they did and how dumb it was, that I can't get off the topic until I feel like it's been driven home what I'm saying. So the sun was in my eyes. You hit me on the right side. I was going right. He's like, I thought you were getting in the left lane. you hit me on the right side of the one lane as I was going right because you caught me in the front and spun me. I don't care what you thought I did. What do you? Were you so late? You were guessing what cars might do. That car might go left. Bang! It's just, what is this guy playing? Like Grand Theft Auto? Like he was a. What a.
I still don't understand how he fit there.
He didn't. Obviously, that's why my car got hit. Thank God, like we both have tiny cars. I'm being serious.
But like the other thing is like, why would you ever try that move if you're him? Like, why would you try to squeeze by on the right on that street? There's not enough room.
I don't know. I told you this is what killed me the most was that I heard him pontificating on the fact of like how bad the road was and how it was just, it took so long to get from one end to the other. Like at that point, I wanted to turn around and slap him like a Seinfeld episode because you know what? You know how I know that you think that it takes a long time to get from one end to the other? You passed me on the right when I was taking a right turn. So trust me, pal. I get that you think that this road sucks and it's a long time to get down it because what you tried is a move nobody else would ever try.
Well, in the end, did the police kind of come around to your version of events?
Look, they don't take what he was basically just kind of smiling and saying that they don't take sides. And I'll be honest, Kev, at one point I realized I'm sitting in a parking lot. It's cold. This guy is like, should have been on a sitcom, but didn't quite make it. The quirky neighbor that like builds things. Like, and these two cops were like, they didn't even have beards, just based on the fact they couldn't grow them. You know what I mean? So I was just like, hey guys, are we all good here? Yeah. Peace. I'm out. I mean, am I in a little pain? Yeah, of course I am. I got hit by a fucking car on the right side, taking a right turn. However, I was out. I was ready. I'm not hanging out with these people. I was gone.
So what happens next? Like insurance?
I get the I got to get the police report, and then I'm gonna file the claim for the fact that he made a scratch. I mean, that guy's not the greatest car in the world at all, but he scratched it all the way up the side and like hit me in the front. I still can't quite explain how he did it. I'll be honest, but
he had to scrape you and then try to cut back over, which probably spun you and hit the right quarter, right?
Hit the right front. The right front, and scraped up the side, and then all of a sudden it was an abrupt hit to the right front, right over the tire, that turned me forward. I was no longer taking a turn. I was now straight on the road.
Look, it's crazy. You know what the worst thing about this is? It's not even February yet. This is January 27th, and this happened. It's not even February.
You don't even know. I was saying this. I've been talking. I was telling this to the wife, like, February. I'm just you won't see me. No one will see me. They'll be like, who? And I might have a cutout cardboard of just me for the show.
All right. Well, look, we're glad you're okay. And in the last part, because we didn't really get to this, all you were doing was going out to get a coffee. You left your house. You went up to get a coffee. You were trying to just go down the street, take another right, and come back home. It should have been like a minute and a half of drive time.
He goes, you weren't at the end of all lies. Like, there was so many different lies he tried. But then he finally was saying, you weren't going right. I go, well, why would I be going left? Because I live the right side. Do I look like I was going to go get like a one of those kiwi drinks from the tropical? Huh? Like, I was really starting to get angry. I'm like, I just happen to live down that street. So what are the chances that I was going right down that street? And then one has something funny. So they're all parked in that bank that nobody goes to, next to Shores.
Yeah.
You know the bank that like no one ever goes to? No one. You don't know anybody that has an account there. You don't never see anybody in their parking lot. Even the people that work there must park on the ground because somehow that bank's open, but it's not. You know what I mean? So cops, both their cars are parked up top. Like fucking guys there in his car. I pull out of the parking lot to take a left, but I just get in the left lane because I have to take that first left because that's where I live. And as I'm going down the street, Kev, as I finally got to take the left past Shaw's, and I'm going down the street and I can see them all above me. I know they can see me. I'm thinking in my head, you nitwit bastards. Like they see me, they see me grumpy driving home, going down the road. I told you I was trying to go down.
Oh,
it kills me. It just kills me.
yeah. I love the fact that he was on his way to court. That's my favorite part of the whole story. That's number one. Number two is that there is no room to squeeze a car by you on the right. Like there's no room to do it. I don't know how he did that. That's probably amazing. That I hope they have cameras to show that.
So I got to tell you this. I said to him a couple times, you know what? How did you even do that? I kept saying like I would get angry. I'd be like, you know what? Honestly, how did you I'm turning right. I said, what? How did you squirt around me like NASCAR and slide and hit me and pop me forward? Like how fast? Like what kind of tricks was he trying to pull with his little tiny car? Like he thought, I'm late, so I'm gonna have to NASCAR this shit. I'm gonna he's gonna use my the wind and then pull around in front of me. Shot. He's gonna draft me all the way to Shaw's.
Did you see him behind you at all?
Not really, not like that. No. Dude, look, listen. When you take a right-hand turn, you never, ever, ever expect for something to be coming on the right side of you.
No, unless you're doing something crazy, unless you're taking a right from the wrong lane, then you kind of have to look. If you're doing something stupid, but it's a one-lane road in each direction. There's that's the part that blows me away. Was he driving a smart car?
No.
You know what I mean? Like those little ones with the 14-inch wheels. Like, you know what I'm talking about?
No, he was driving. He was driving like a 1994 Get Out and Push. It wasn't anything. It wasn't anything of of notice. You would never see it in the Hamptons, Kev. I'm just saying. I don't think they let his car in there.
Yeah, just so you know, I took the legit limo to a Sunoco. I had those squeegee all the windows. It's looking good. I paid the most I've ever paid for a gallon of gas today.
Really?
Because I paid with a credit card. Paying with a credit card out here is extra 30 cents a gallon. I didn't realize it was $4.79 a gallon.
Wow.
Yeah.
And there were no middle to older age prostitutes on the side of the gas station.
No,
they didn't have that.
No, they did not have that. But I figured after I paid that, I figured after I paid that price, I pretty much rented a parking spot. So I went inside. I talked to the people working there. I bought a few things, Pringles, some other stuff. I went outside. I checked the air pressure and all the tires. I'm like, for that price, it's like renting a parking spot, right? So legit.
You just made me realize though that there's this phenomenon that I've had a couple times in my life where I figured out someone was a prostitute. I don't know if you've ever had that happen.
Yeah.
Just like, hey, oh, you're a prostitute. Like, you know what I mean? Just and then Atlantic City, which whenever I tell stories of Atlantic City, they're never good. They're never good. They're disgusting.
I love Atlantic City.
I can't stand it. You had to walk through these different foyers, I want to call them, that connected to different casinos or wherever the hotel we would stay in, whatever. Whenever you were down where that was, there were so many prostitutes. It was like walking through shark-infested waters. You got more hey babies, more woo-woos, more this, more that, more people, more of them trying to reach out to touch you. I was like that woman that holds her dress down and is just like oh. That was me. That was me in Atlantic City. I was like, just stop it. Stop touching me, trying to touch me. Don't. They try to show you the product. It's like, I don't, like, I don't, how do you know that that's something that I buy? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just want to let you know, like, it was awful. It was awful, Kevin. It was.
I loved it. I spent not probably the summer before COVID. I spent probably 3 to 6 weeks in Atlantic City. Loved it.
Listen,
loved it.
There was a guy. He had to be in his 50s, I want to say, right? He had long gray hair, long beard, a dirty white, like NASCAR type shirt where the collar was just done. Like the collar gave up work. You know when the collar gets so fucking like worn, it doesn't even want to be a collar anymore on a guy's shirt. You know what I'm trying to say? When they overwear a t-shirt to the point where the collar gives up and quits. So he's so like, he's like thin and like gross looking, and he's got his arms around this like blonde girl that's heavy, but not like gigantically heavy. So she thinks that she's probably, you know, money. And she's wearing those jeans with the back pockets, but they're fake. Like they had back pockets, but they weren't real back pockets.
Yeah.
I can't explain these sons of bitches. And she had on a white t-shirt of like, I think the band of like George Thorogood. And again, the collar was like, her collar was like a sweater collar on that t-shirt. She, as he had his arms wrapped around her with his hands in her front pockets, had her arms wrapped around his son.
Oh, all right. All right.
In his 20s. In his 20s. Right. So, long, straggly beard, wearing another sort of like t-shirt like his dad. Collar gave up. He's really thin, wearing jeans. And the three of them are just hanging there. And it was exactly what I thought I was going to see, but I didn't think it would see it that fast. Right away, I'm going, I don't want to. True fact, though.
No one should ever see that. But like, maybe you were like the wrong spot of Atlantic City. You gotta mill around. You gotta, you know.
It was because we were there to see George Thorogood.
Yeah, probably. Strangely enough, I've seen George Thorogood also. I was after I graduated college, I took a job with a consulting firm, and the orientation was in Austin, which was awesome. So we go out on 6th Street where there's all this live music, and I ended up at a George Thorogood concert. I would have never chosen it. I would have never picked it. I don't remember seeing anything like you were describing, but we can actually say we both saw George Thorogood. Same way we both saw MC Hammer.
Listen. I'm in Jersey, and I'm at some horrible casino that looks like it used to be good in the 80s, and there's all kinds of white people that made me want to act like Italians were more European than we are. You know what I mean? I was, you know, because it's weird. I gotta be honest. It's weird when you're a full-blooded Italian because you're considered Caucasian, but you weren't always.
No, you weren't always. No, definitely not.
It's a weird relationship we have with that term. Like, you know, all right, yeah. That's why I don't. It just, you know, is what it is. But no, that was one of the most disgusting places I've ever been to. I told you that was also the place where I saw the biggest Hell's Angels guys walking around I've ever seen. If they weren't pro wrestlers, God only knows, right? And I saw them bumping kids trying to get into fights with people.
Way.
And I saw one guy had a knife. So I said, I said, if what? Yeah, I saw that he had a knife. It was one of the things I caught because I was walking over him. I says, listen, if they try to bump, I was trying to say to gentleman Dave and Derek. I said, listen, if they try to bump us, just whatever. And sure enough, they bumped me. Gave me
Taking the
one of the
move.
guys show the block. As soon as he showed the block me, I turned right away, right at him. I was like, my bad, my apologies. Sorry about that. I just walked away. Because I ain't getting stabbed. I ain't getting killed. You survey the threat and you act accordingly. And if a guy's got a knife and you think you're that tough, then you're a moron. You want to just go, okay, sure, yeah, whatever, and disarm it and get the fuck out of Dodge. I shouldn't have been at a George Thorogood concert in Atlantic City to begin with. To hear
you definitely should have. Yeah, you definitely should have. But at least you had your wits about you, because some stupid kid that's trying to prove something gets bumped by one of those guys and says something. They're literally like dead, like sliced and diced and dead. So I was, I travel a lot, for work, and we were working in Kansas City, and it was my first night there, and my buddy goes, if anyone tries to mess with you at the bar, let it go. And I'm not a guy that gets into fights. I don't. But if you push enough buttons, whatever. But I don't get into fights. And I'm like, why? What are you telling me this for? I'm like, I don't get into fights. He's like, there's a UFC conference here. So anyone that is looking for anything, he's like will you just say the way you described it? I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm going to take my drink and I'm going to go to another city because but you got to be very, very aware and very, very careful of stuff like that. And it was just really funny to have them tell me, I don't get to fight. There's a UFC conference here. Don't get baited. Whatever you do, don't get baited.
Dude, I had, again, we're off topic, but I had what's called reverse bullying, in my opinion. I told you, I was at that Rira bar, that Irish bar, and I was bumped by this guy that had to be 5'1", tops, 5'2". And he turned to me, and I looked at him, and he was like, you going to say, fucking excuse me, the tough guy? And I was like, I was talking to somebody. I forget who it was. I knew who this person was. And I'm like, excuse me? He goes, what do you want me to pop you in the mouth there, Zoolander? I had on a purple dress shirt. So I stopped laughing because I enjoyed the joke.
No, yeah,
that's how I am.
You appreciate it. Yeah, that's how I am too.
To him, and the person I was with was like, that's not whatever. So he goes, he said again. So he said something. And I'm like, are you waiting for me to tell you that you're Danny DeVito? I don't know where we're at with this. I didn't know. And he goes, oh, yeah? Say another word, tough guy. I'll break your fucking teeth. And I'm looking at him, and Kev, I didn't know what to do. It was like when a dog sees something that it can't quite figure out, and it just runs away.
So you had
a cat with a cucumber. I was just
your turn what? Yeah.
I'm looking at him going, what is he what's going to happen? Because if this isn't going to be normal, he's either suckering me in for the worst ass kicking I ever caught, or I'm going to look like the biggest dick in the bar, and then something else is going to happen. No, for real. That's the problem with that. If he throws a punch at me and I were to grab him and beat him up, how good do I look? I look awful. I look like a big douche. Vice versa, if he's beating the snot out of me, I don't know what I'm doing or how to fight at all. So luckily, not luckily at first though, this is 6'5" guy comes walking through the crowd towards us. And I go, look, I swear to God, I go, this fucking guy's coming here. I'm like, I'm dead. The guy comes up, grabs the kid, lifts him up, turns him, places him down, shoves him forward. Turns to me, goes, I'm sorry about my buddy. He's a fucking dick when he's drunk. Turns, walks away.
Perfect. Yeah, that's
perfect. But at first, I was like, what do I do? Because I didn't have my friends around me. I was like,
You're right. It's a no-win situation because if you get your ass kicked, then he baited you and he owned you the whole time. And if you kick the crap out of him, it's like, hey, you just beat up some guy 16 inches shorter than you. You lose either way.
A 6-foot guy beating up a 5-foot guy.
Yeah.
I got a foot on him. And I'm beating him up.
Yeah. And you're like, but he started. I didn't want to do this. He started it. Yeah. Yeah. I had a kind of a similar situation. I was like in a bathroom in a bar in New York, and my girlfriend like busts into the bar. She's screaming. I turn and I look. And there's this short guy, and I walk up. I don't walk up. I explode up, lift him by the lapels, and slam him against the wall. Turns out he worked there. So then the 6'6" guys come in, and like, you got to go. But like I didn't know what to do either. Like she's screaming. I don't know what's going on. It's late at night. You know, what do I know? I don't know if I made the right move or the wrong move. But either way, I'm walking out with my hands up. They're like, you don't have to do that. I'm like, you're kicking me out, right? I'm like, well, I'm probably a little dangerous. I should probably do you don't have to do that.
So we used to sing around. We would sing around the practice thing about this one event where, bouncers at this one club I won't mention were extremely brutal guys. Like they used to kick people out in really rough ways, and sometimes we would be playing shows and they would do that, and it wasn't cool. But anyways, at the end of a show, the cops showed up and they were trying to kick kids out, and they were starting to get tough with this kid that's friendly with us. We knew who he was. So Mr. Phillips got down and thought that he, dressed the way that he was dressed, was going to explain to the cops why the kid was okay. I didn't even know why the kid was okay. But we used to sing, and I don't know if you remember the DMX song, but we changed the words to "Stop, Drop."
Yeah.
Phillips got choked by a cop. Oh no! Took a billy club to the throat. Stop! Like we had a whole thing about it because the cop hit him in the throat with a billy club and just started choking him out. And then we had all jumped down the whole band and try to stop the cops. So yeah.
But it should, like stuff like that, like it gets out of control so fast. And if you don't have your wits about you, and you have to have your wits about you, or you have to be extremely dangerous. And if you're both, you know, you're not doing a podcast. If you're both, you're like a bodyguard for Jeff Bezos.
Let me give you another one, right? You're playing a show, you're doing or whatever, and you realize that the majority of the crowd all of a sudden becomes flooded with people that are of the skinhead variety.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Swastikas out and everything, right? They're just rocking out. So, first of all, it's almost like you want to stop playing so they can stop dancing because you never intended for them to make them dance. But you have to think of it as this. It's supposed to be art music, so it's free to everybody. If they want to dance to it, should be able to stop them. So they're dancing, and one of the kids keeps whacking into the raised guitar pedal, barking at the raised guitar pedal because the stage is here, and they keep banging like this. I saw Ray take a 3-foot field goal, step, like that was perfect. I really saw him wind up, and he kicked this kid in the face so hard, the kid just turned like that, went into the crowd, and we had them pointing at us. And then we load out that night in the back. And here's how it is. Here's the building. You go out the back, and there's just an alley. You can only fit one car at a time either way. So our van is parked like backwards, being loaded up. And all of a sudden, around the corner with the street light on it and the shadowy type thing, is like about 20 skinheads, and they just go walking down the alley. And it's just, you know, you think it's over. It's over. Like, we just fucking talked it out. We ended up just talking it out. I'll be honest, not all of us did. Some of us hid in the van. I just remember seeing Dave. I'll be honest. I just remember me and Dave talking to them. I don't remember anybody else. They can
like Dave, like Gentleman Dave. If he's not out front having a conversation and you're not having the conversation, then your characters are shot. Like you can't, you literally like that's like you two have to have a conversation. Like the others, there's some leeway there. But if you and Gentleman Dave are not having that conversation, then the entire persona is busted.
Well, here's the thing. And here's the truth. So I am a firm believer of the whole punch in the face theory. The whole if you never really had your ass kicked, you're just not quite getting it. Like you've had like Dave and I have both had our asses kicked, and it puts perspective. It gives you perspective. You know what I mean? You remember the next time what to say, what not to say, how far to take something. It just helps you out. And it's a tough lesson, but like as you get older, it totally changed me. So I don't know. Like Mike, you gotta get punched in the face sometimes to really understand what you can and can't say.
Exactly.
You want to if you want to really like shut someone down or cancel them, you know what I mean? Beat them up in a match. If not, shut up.
And I completely agree with that. And the other side of it is, when things are going to escalate and when they're not. Like I've had a million conversations with people. I'm like, you go past all reason, and then finally it's like, are we going to do it or not? If we're not, then get your car and leave. But if we are, let's go right now, because you know when it's happening and when it isn't. But if you've never actually gotten the shit beat out of you or beat the shit out of somebody, you just keep running your mouth and running your mouth and running your mouth. But once you get how it all works, like I know like in Boston a bunch of times, like with kids, I'm like, okay, like we're done, we're leaving, we apologize, we're leaving, and they keep going and going. I'm like, all right, guys, get back out of the car. Either we're gonna fight or we're not. Now it's your choice. But like it doesn't like only rookies let it get to that point.
Yep. But I also here's the thing. It's what I found is the same as coaching. It's all a mental game.
Mm-hmm.
You can win most fights
exactly
before the match should happen. So here's the thing that happens. I remember when I was first dating the wife, when in the first apartment, the ex showed up before I was getting there, and he was like pushing his way through. And me and Larry were on our way there. Larry was dropping me off. Now the thing is, if me and Larry would have got there when he was there, Larry didn't like him either. We would have dragged him down the stairs. Like we would have really me and Larry. Like Larry, when me and Larry were together, if you remember, it was like gas and.
I was gonna say there's no reason.
And there might be no level to which we'll go. There's no level to which we might go because we just won't. We're not going to stop each other.
Yeah.
So that could get killed and buried with lime. Like so, there's no telling what happened. So, he knew that I was upset, but he did that whole like, I'm not worried. Like, not to me, but like to others. So, I'm at Jerky's and I see him come in. I can't believe my luck. I could not believe my luck. It was like I saw a ball as a dog. Like, oh my God. And I get the pleasure of seeing him walk. I don't even remember Jerky's bathroom. It was big, deep, whatever. So I'm watching. He's going to the bathroom. I'm like, oh my God, this is great. He goes in the bathroom. I follow him right in. There's nobody else there. I grab the door and I close it and I lock it.
Well, that's a Bronx style move. Yeah.
And then I turn and he saw me over his shoulder and put his head back down like this and started talking to me before I even said a word. He started to apologize, started explaining why he was wrong, why what he did he'll never do again. Me and his brother were always close. My brother and his brother were always close. He went through a whole long list. Kev, I never had to actually say more than a few words. Yeah. And all I did was threaten his life.
Yeah. That's all. Yeah.
That's it. At the very end, I just explained to him, this is what I'm going to do if we have this conversation again.
Yeah.
It worked.
Because the thing is, like most people just run their mouth, like they don't want to do it. And like, look, I'll be honest, like I don't want to get into physical confrontation. Like, I have a job, I have a career, all that stuff. But when you push it past a certain point, you have to deal with the consequences of your actions, and that's why, like that Tyson quote that you sent along, like now people think they can be the toughest guy in the room without ever stepping into the room. Like I'm not like none of neither. Like, we're not the toughest guys going, but like don't run your friggin' mouth. Just like if you do, you have to kind of accept that certain things can happen. And like nobody wants to accept it. They just and that's the part I don't get.
That's why I think you may see in the next 10 years the slow, like, nurturing return of bullies. Like, the ecosystem has been completely destroyed without bullies. The nerds are out of control. They're making decisions. They're changing things.
They suck. And like the fuck me, like I'm a smart guy, and like I get analytics, I get math, I get all this stuff. But the way, and like I always start with professional sports. The way analytics has taken over the NFL is awful. The way analytics has taken over basketball, awful. It's like you guys have probably never played. And you don't understand anything about the emotional part of it, the psychological part of it, any of that stuff. Yet you have a spreadsheet that says if you do this, you have a 0.0019% advantage to win the game.
I'll give you one football. The minute they started to do the first down marker, it was over for analytics, for visuals. Once like even a girl could sit down and go, "Oh, they got to get to that line for first down." Remember when you had to know where the first down marker was, like as a football fan, and you were just looking for that line because you knew math, you were looking. You didn't need a fake line, right? And then secondly, like, basketball, why I'm good at picking basketball and why I was and probably still am, I might still be again a good basketball coach, is because I was very good at getting in the heads of players more and getting them to believe in what I was selling and buying into a system. We were the Rising Suns, Rhode Island Rising, and spelled it SONS. So it was a team where look, I said, you just got to do what I tell you to do in the game. It's like pieces. It's like a Dungeons & Dragons game. You're all going to be pieces. Just do what I ask so we can try to win some games, please.
Yeah.
And that's how I pitched it to them. It wasn't anything more than that. It was just me asking them to help me, and I'm going to help them. I'm like, trust me, I'm going to put you in the position that will make you look the best too. It's going to accentuate your positives.
Yeah. Which is the way it should be, but like that's not the way it is everywhere. It's just like crazy brand of basketball. And I love the teams like Cleveland. We talked about Cleveland on Monday. Cleveland's got this massive lineup with 3 7-footers, and their coach was it BJ Biggerstaff is like following it. He won't move away from it, and it's against a lot of what analytics basketball says. But like they have this like monstrous lineup, and like I love watching them play. I love the team, and I hope they crush it. Like they don't have a big three, they don't have a bunch of superstars, but they're like breaking the rules, and like that. Like that's what I like. I don't want to hear, oh, hey, you need more floor space. You need to run 5 wide. You need to do this every single possession. I don't like it.
You need to have that unselfish player on the team.
Yeah.
You need to have that one guy who comes in, and I keep saying this, like what the NBA really needs is a guy to emerge like this, who's just like the Rodman 2.0, who's just built like Debo, you know what I mean, and just shows up and he's just like bang, grab. You know what I mean? Just bang, bang. Every time the board goes up, you see him banging into somebody, and they can even make like a whole gimmick around that, because when he walls somebody, it must be like boom, and they're not getting around them. That's his rebound. Like he just walls people constantly. It's like he's putting up walls. He's diving for loose balls. He takes every night serious. He doesn't take rest nights off because it messes with his cardio. He wants to play every game. You know what I'm saying? Like that dude would be huge. Huge.
Like maybe it'll happen, but like it's a very tough thing to I won't say push, but to envision, because like the crazy with basketball, it's only 5 players per side on the court, and the salary cap is high. And you get people making like $40 million a year, $45 million a year. How am I going to tell anybody that's making $45.6 million a year? They could rub off the 0.6, and that will change your life entirely. You don't even need it. It will change. I was going to do it, but it'll change your life entirely. How do you teach someone to play a different way?
All right. So let's just talk about team. Now, we know a little bit about team chemistry. We were on multiple teams.
Yeah.
I was on multiple teams. And I'll tell you what, my team always did the best or played the best. I had the best results when I was on my teammates' asses about being where they were supposed to be and like literally trying to win. Like if I saw them trying to take a play off, I was that guy that would be a douchebag and make a comment, let you know, because the thing was like, it's the same thing I say to the kids. Like when I coach, like before every year I would coach with the kids, I would say this to them. I go, look, here's what I want to know, guys. Are we here to have a fun time this year and play basketball, which I can't wait to do? Or are we here because we want to win the championship and we're going to have to work hard to do it? That's what we want. Either way, I'm fine. They always pick the win because it's that moment of like competition when they pick it. Like I'm terrified of the team that first says to me, "Have fun."
I don't think anybody will say that.
Of that team. I don't know.
I don't think they'll say that, but it's the way they act.
But like you gotta hold teammates accountable. If you don't, and the thing is, it's gonna come with dislike. Like, I had plenty of people that liked me off the court, but did not like me on the court. But I was okay with that because you got to do certain things to get certain things done. And on a large scale, NBA players are so goddamn friendly. They want to be everybody's friend. No one wants to be ostracized, and they won't be in all the movies and commercials. It's like they don't want to say nothing or go against anybody. So it's like,
And like, but the weird thing is all these politics behind the scenes. So I agree with everything you're saying. Like, and like I'm reading a book now called the Captain Class. And it's about how team captains impact like the culture of a team. And like one of them is Bill Russell, and how he never led the Celtics in scoring, like the whole thing. But we all know Bill Russell. But what I'm going to switch it to like today, right now, there's all these rumors that James Harden doesn't want to be in Brooklyn. And he's upset about Kyrie, who's like his availableness is always in question. He doesn't like Steve Nash's rotations. He doesn't like these other things, but it's Kyrie, Durant, and Harden, and they're still not happy. So like that's the part I don't get. Like it was just like this like sort of this view of they all just want they just want to play together, this and that. It's a very fragile ecosystem because the egos don't always work together. And you have to have somebody that's going to say, look, you're not doing what you need to do. You need to play more defense. You need to do this, you need to do that, or you need to pass instead of shoot every time, whatever. And like it's almost like they don't talk to each other, but they'll break up a super team because they're not happy. You know what I mean?
Like, as much as I really didn't like him as a player because I'm a Laker fan, where have all the Kevin Garnett's gone?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where's that guy that's yapping in your face the whole time things are going on to keep you off your game? Like, because this is competition.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be talking to each other so friendly. Everybody shouldn't be just best buds.
Yeah.
There should not be rest nights. Like don't get me started. We started to talk wrestling on the Wrestling Show podcast on Wednesday night. We ended up building our own wrestling show. I'm ready to do it with basketball, like how it needs to be just overhauled. Like thank God we've got all these young kids coming in, right? Let's keep them separate. Don't let them hang out. Don't let them see each other. Let's write fake news articles about one saying shit about the other one. Let's keep them hating each other so we get some good competition, damn it. No more kumbaya. No more best friends. I hate that. That should never have crept up into athletics. And kids nowadays think that that's a common, that you're supposed to be best friends on the court with your friends and on the field with your friends. And
like exactly, like I hate all that, but I think that's the way it is right now. Like Harden, there was some that leaked that he wants to play with Embiid. He didn't. He sort of did like this half-hearted denial, but his people leaked that. He didn't sign his contract extension. Like, you know, like I don't understand this like weird all superstar drama. It pisses me off. That's why I love seeing a team like Cleveland that didn't do any of this, and like somehow they're very, very dangerous. And I hope Brooklyn fades out of the playoffs this year. I really do. I hope LA fades out of the playoffs this year. I hope Golden State fades out. I hope I don't like it.
No. I guess that's why I like watching those young teams, because I'm looking for people that are trying to play basketball, or look like they're trying to get better or play hard or whatnot. These teams, I never seen like in other words, Dominique didn't just coast on the fact he was Dominique when he showed up and saw like Bird on a regular night, or like if Dominique came to wherever Dominique went, he was looking to smash 40 if he could every night.
You know what's like crazy about that? Like I hated him. Like I guess I was a teenager. I hated Dominique because he was a Hawk, but like you knew if you didn't like hit him and bang him and try to take him off his game, he's gonna take you for 28.
Yep,
that was cool. Like that was like a cool hatred. It was like hatred, but it was respect. I never said he sucked, but you know what I mean.
Tell the truth, right? If you were playing basketball against one of your friends and they came at you and they went up like kind of like easy and kind of
I kill him. I block it out of bounds.
As if like they were trying to like go easy on you for any reason. Wouldn't that upset you in a million ways?
Yeah.
Almost as much as if they try to dunk on you.
Well, look, like I respect the latter. If you go easy, like I'm gonna at least try to knock it out of bounds. We were playing basketball in a gym in New York, and like this guy had a breakaway, and he was at least 6 inches taller than me, and everyone let it go. And I ran back and I tried to stop him. He went up, he dunked. We both came down, and he tapped me on my back, and he was like, oh, "Good hustle." It was like I'm never gonna give it up. You know what I mean? Like I'll at least try.
Yeah, but see, I gotta be honest. That actually upsets me a little bit because twice in my life I've had similar things, and both time I've bridged said individuals because.
I'm not gonna kill someone.
No. Well, see, I have a rule. You're not dunking on me. I'm not letting someone dunk on me. That ain't happening. It ain't happening. It wasn't happening. Every time somebody tried to dunk on me, I would follow them or take them out. It's not happening. That's rule number one. Don't dunk on me. Don't dunk on me. All right, but that's one. Secondly, don't go easy on me. I don't know which one's worse. They both bother me tremendously. In other words,
going easy is worse.
Come in as hard as you can. Show me what you got. Yeah. If we end up hitting each other and it's a foul, whatever it is, so be it. Let's do this.
Yeah.
But don't try to show me up and this and you're going to go over me and dunk, because I'm not going to let that happen. That's not fair. Taking you out. And don't go easy, because what the is this? I thought we're supposed to be competing. Like,
Yeah, going easy is worse. Like going easy is worse. And like I'm not gonna kill like I'm not gonna kill some kid. I'm like the Columbia gym. I'm not gonna kill some kid. Like that's just that. But I'm not gonna give it up either. It wasn't like I was like 2 feet under the kid. He made a good play. Like that's that. But like if you ever went easy, I'd probably get into a fight with him.
I'm not a big fan of going easy. It's not trying to sound tough. It's just
Go easy.
It's just a way of playing. Like in other words, it messes up with how you play. Like you need everybody else to play hard, so you could play hard and get in that rhythm of it. Like I hate when like there's one team playing hard, the other team isn't, and it's like you almost fall out of your rhythm because they're like so clunky and anything that Gentleman Dave played for actually in the night league, whatever team he played for every year was always clunky. He never had much success in that, and I'm being serious. He was always drafted by teams where he was just like the team was just no good.
Well, yeah, but like I completely agree. Like that's my whole thing. Like I don't want you to go easy, and I'm gonna hustle no matter what. And like if you make the play, you make the play, and that's that. Like we move on. Anyway, all right. So hold on a second. It's we're actually at the 52-minute mark. So we got to talk about one game tonight. Let's go in a little bit of detail. So we got the T-Wolves going to Golden State. Is getting 6.5. Make sure they're still getting 6.5. Yeah, they get 6.5.
That's it.
Yeah. So let's and I already looked it up. So Draymond Green is out.
He won.
Iguodala out. Wiseman out. Obviously. Minnesota. Beverly doubtful. We could probably check that. And Jalen Noel probable. So Noel's probably going to play. I assume Beverly's
Clay's playing.
What?
Clay's playing. Right?
Yeah. So like it's Minnesota. All right. Why? Okay. By the way, so the whole thing that we were joking about with the like the 1 point versus just spent money line.
Yeah.
They lost that freaking point. Now I'll stand by the bet because I hate ties. Like I'm not gonna bet in hopes of a push. But it was just hilarious after we talked about it for a while that that game ended up a 1 point game and I lost it because we could have gotten a push if we had bet that way. So we got Minnesota going to Golden State getting 6.5.
I like Golden State, man, by 6.5.
Well, no.
Minnesota's not ready for that. They're going to be in awe. Minnesota's going to be trying to get autographs. I'm being serious when you look at that matchup and think about that for a second. Golden State's going to win by like 8 or 9. I mean, come on. Golden State, they're going to be trying to get the autographs. I'm telling you. Two totally different teams. Got to go Golden State in this one. They're going to get a lot more than that.
Like we've been off, and like why have we been off? I
don't know. How off have we been? I thought with the other games we were.
No, we lost both picks. We lost both picks on Monday. So
I'm still going to go Golden State on this one. That's why I'm not off. I'm going with the better team, and 6.5 is not a lot of points to have Clay and Curry in the lineup.
But there's no Draymond.
So it's 6.5.
All right, so hold on a second. Let me get so Golden State the last 10 they're 6-4. Minnesota 7-3 in the last 10. They're averaging 120.5. Golden State's only averaging 108. So so offensively, Minnesota's.
How does Minnesota like to play? They want to go up tempo, right? They want to keep things in a more up tempo type swing. Am I correct?
Yeah, right now they're scoring like tons of points. They're like averaging like in the last 10, they're scoring a zillion points.
All right. What's the last team in the NBA you'd want to go into one of those kind of matchups with?
It's probably Golden State, but they don't have Draymond.
Doesn't matter. You go when you got two guys that if you push the tempo too far, they might both drop 50 on your ass because they just can shoot that well or that great. I almost said, which is kind of true. Just this is not a game for Minnesota. This is not a game for them, and they're gonna want autographs. Like seriously, they're gonna be starstruck. This is not a game for them. I like Golden State.
That's a tough pick.
You can go the other way. I'll show you when I'll show you tomorrow.
I like to talk all this stuff through because like Minnesota's playing pretty well. 7-3 of the last 10. Golden State is second place. They're at the top of the standings, but they're not playing amazingly well. Recently, their last 10, they average 109 points. Minnesota's at 120.
So Minnesota's going to get them at a pace, get them going, try to keep them up at a higher pace, and you don't want to do that with Golden State. That's my train of thought on this. You don't you don't want to poke around at the Viper. You don't touch things. You don't want to see what it can do. You don't want to try to get it to go that fast. Let it be. Just leave it be. I'm serious. I really think that this game watched. The more I keep saying this, the more I keep thinking, how do you try to go around me on the right when I'm taking a right-hand turn?
Oh,
that's the mystery of the universe. That and why would you think that the Golden State's not going to be able to win by 6.5 if Minnesota really tries to come at them fast?
Because Golden State's been they've been losing games.
This is a matchup thing. If the tempo is up, and which Minnesota's going to want, it's not going to be what they want. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, it does. But who's going to stop Karl-Anthony Towns?
Who cares?
Actually,
I mean, kind of who cares in that line? Just watch. I'm gonna leave it. Oh man, dude. By the way, where do you stand on watching videos of people getting really hurt, but it's still hilarious?
Yeah, really. For doing what?
I don't know. They're just doing something dumb and something happens and you're just wow.
Just what are they doing? Oh, wow. Now it's 7.
I was watching see, I go down rabbit holes. I was watching people falling and it was just people falling out of the one that cracked up the most was I was looking for people falling off their balconies. The amount of videos there are of people. I don't know. You don't know the amount of people that'll be sitting on a balcony and they just go plunk. And it's just
by the way,
what?
How does that even happen?
They must be leaning on said balcony, and it wasn't built so great. People fall off balconies a lot, apparently.
Look
at Eric Clapton's kid.
The kid fell out of a window.
He died.
Yes, he did. The kid fell out of a window. There was some weird thing where they somehow some person working there left a window open, and a kid, tottered over and fell out.
Because we all know kids love to climb out windows.
They don't. It wasn't a climb out. I think the kid just sort of tottered over.
Yeah, they just those little kids and their leg muscles, the way they can totter.
They walk everywhere
over a balcony.
There was no balcony. That was a problem.
Remember Michael Jackson dangling his kid over the thing?
It
looked like he was showing everybody a guinea pig.
It was like Simba, like Lion King. Like, what do you expect him to do? What do you expect him to do? Everyone wanted to see the kid. What do you expect him to do?
You know, and he's been wearing the mask a long time. So he would have been perfect right now. You know what I mean? COVID would have never got him.
That is actually one of the funniest things I've heard. He was decades.
He was COVID before COVID was COVID. He was pre-COVID. He was ready for it, man. He was ain't getting nothing by Michael Jackson.
I don't even know how to react to that.
He was just ready. Everywhere he went, he was masked. Everybody's like, why is he masked? Oh, he doesn't want to get germs. What do you mean?
Because probably Fauci was on his payroll.
Yeah, Fauci played bass.
That means this whole show's gonna cancel. All right, so you think Golden State Warriors are gonna handle your Timberwolves?
I think yes. Listen, I think take Golden State minus 6.5. I think Michael Jackson knew about COVID 20 to 30 years before everybody else. And I can't believe someone would try to pass me on the right while I'm taking a right-hand turn. Kev, put all three of those in. Let me know what the parlay is for those three all come through.
I can't get to my bet slip. Bet online. Oh wow. No, I can't do that. Let's do it here. Golden State Warriors -7.
Oof. See, they know what I know.
You know what? I will say this with complete sincerity and everything else. Nobody knows what you know.
That's true. You don't know.
All right. For King Mike L, this is the Genius Kev. We actually killed 1 hour and 3 minutes and spent about 7 minutes on basketball on the Legit Basketball Show. If you know anyone watching this show, there aren't very many of you. Anyone watching this show, if you know anyone that knows anything about NBA basketball, please reach out to us. And if you know anyone that drives really fast, reach out to me.
Too bad